World War 3. So, let's start. It's worth nothing right away that this is low budget project. You should not expect stars from the sky from this project, as it's still an indie game from the Polish developers from the studio The Farm 51. It's important to know that this project is working on a team of enthusiasts who buy their own admissions without hiding it. Focus on the game Battlefield 4, so players in World War expect modern warfare equipment, large maps and gameplay, honed for the team game, and just recently a new multiplayer shooter has reached their release. Therefore, at the moment stays in the early access Steam. So, it's time to find out if the game is for buying at this stage and if able to eclipse the mastodon of the game in the form of Battlefield 4. As such, the game has no plot. All the battles unfold against the backdrop of World War III. There is a global and large-scale war between the Eastern Bloc, which includes the SIG countries, and the Western Bloc, which include European countries. Battles in World War III are currently taking place in four key cities: Berlin, Warsaw, Smolensk and Moscow. Of the currently available maps are all available, except Smolensk. Battles in nature are not provided in the game so far, so there are only urban battles, but they are very impressive. Each city is beautiful and incredible: large squares, huge recognizable buildings, Reichstag, Brandenburg Gate, Red Square, Lenin Museum, GUM. Everything is in the place and almost everything in the right scale. The overall look and design of each map is excellent. In addition, each city has quality and correct weather effect. For example, Berlin, in addition to its incredible beauty, boasts gloomy weather effects: thunderstorm, rain, cloudy water. In the respect, World War III is a beauty game, as there is the recognizable of the terrain, which is good for gameplay. At such moments you realize how much we lack something like Battlefield 4 and how it's really able to catch on. Definitely the developers have enough courage, because they are not afraid to break the walls of the Kremlin and bomb the Senate Palace, inside of which is not raging flames. And in general science they are so flawless from a good point of view. It's time to do two more maps: Sevastopol and Kiev. After all, it will be just a bomb from a political point of view. Of course, the game should be supplemented with other important European cities like Paris, London or Barcelona. Moreover, given the fact that the project is constantly being finalized, new updates will not be long in coming. Visually, not all areas of the map look decent. In some places there are frankly not enough details, in other places rather fluid textures hurt the eye. Of course, each of the details is striking to the eye. Closed rooms looks noticeably worse and dull than amazing open angles. There are purely logical inconsistencies in World War III. For example, when inside the building there is a huge hole from a shell or any other bomb, there you can be sure that the interior decoration and glass did not suffer. In general, the implementation of the graphics and effects are mixed, because in some places the graphics of World War III is really stunning, but in other places it looks on other of some warface. Because the problem is the texture in design, and it's not clear yet, whatever the developers will somehow fix or refine it. But at this stage, the cheapness of the game incredibly hard to cut the eye, and at the same time, as has been said, the beautiful angle still exists. There are certain problems with the lighting in World War III. From time to time during the game, there are openly dark areas of the map where you cannot see a damn thing, and for the same reason there are problems with the enemies. When they are quite difficult to see, because at long distances they turn into the dark shapes. I think it clear that because of these graphic moments you can lose sight of miss the enemy, who then will not miss the moment to kill him, and many other things. All maps are traditionally designed to introduce combat at different distances, thereby giving room for both snipers and fighters with PP. In the respect, World War III also succeed. Battles rumble not only in wide squares, but also inside narrow streets, supermarkets and ruins. The pace of the game as whole is slightly lower than at Battlefield 4, but they are more of a plus than a minus. Also, the game has some fun mechanics, like a roll or fall on your back, which gives the game a little tactical variety. And World War III would be similar to BF4, but if weren't for some nuances. The first nuance is that there are a total of 40 players on the map, 20 per team. In turn, the map is quite large and sometimes even confusing, and a couple of even too confusing, therefore the most epic battles of the game should not be expected. Trouble is exactly the same as in BF4. Absolutely all the people are even and thin smeared on the map, and the battles are made up of several exchanges of fire between separate squads, and because you can be revived either on certain points or the commander, and you cannot pick up soldiers when you have fallen in battle, the total mass of battle seems even much smaller. Therefore, epicness and messing in VV3 is clearly lacking. On such elegant maps should unfold really epic and large-scale battles, because this is the battle for the capital of the state, but in fact there are rather moderate and modest fireflies. In addition, the game lacks models that contributed to this, for example some assault or operation from the same battlefield. Actually, for this reason, World War III cannot replace the Battlefield series, because the later version gives a true feeling of a real epic action game, when everything around is filled with action and when the battles are just fun to watch. On the other hand, if the developers will continue to work in the right direction, for example juggling these elements, which poses and introducing new models, World War III may seem like an adequate substantial for BF4, but clearly not now. The developers are just trying to concentrate the gameplay on certain points in order to add mass to what is happening on the screen. The event of each match are added up after battle in a single overall outcome of the battle for the particular city, which in turn affects the global flow of the war on the strategy map. As this already gives special bonuses to experience, resources and other goodies like tactical nuclear strike. The mechanics are not bad, because in this way every player feels involved in the global conflict. And yet, World War III is a shooter, so the main thing in that the battles are intense and interesting. The first thing worth nothing is that the TTS feels much lower than in Battlefield 4, but we are not talking about the game, which claims to be a realistic game like Arma 3 or Escape from Tarkov, but about an ordinary multiplayer shooter. The shooting in VV3 feels quite good. The game has no visual feedback or random scatter, but they are in a drop on the weapon when the shooting, which is quite realistic. Initially, this is difficult to fully control the dispersion, but after the installation of more ergonomic equipment, such as muzzle compensator and tactical grip, becomes quite comfortable to shoot with the same AK and the medium ranges with a clamp. So, my opinion, after a few doses hours, World War III shows not only its minuses, but also its pluses. In general, the result of the studio The Farm 51 is more than worthy. It's definitely not a masterpiece and not a killer a battle, but at least quite a good quality shooter about modern battles in an excellent setting and with a just incredible customization. And despite the fact that the game only recently hit the early access, all the mechanics works well and the project itself quite playable. Thank you.